Okay guys, I'm back. This is part 2 of 2. I got knocked off the air. So I'm broadcasting again. Hopefully you'll find my channel. Hi Julie. Okay, I'm back. Oh, Emily, you didn't realize what happened until your phone started playing Dateline? That's funny. All right, hold on. Hopefully everybody will get back in the room. Okay, so where was I? I was talking about the face and how the face on our piece looks, what? Ghostly and too light. So now I need to go back and we need to readjust the colors. So I've got my light, my medium, and my dark flesh. And right now I'm using my darker pencil to start bringing in more color. Hopefully everybody will get back. Now, what do you do if you bring in too much color with the colored pencils? The beauty of an eraser. Okay, now notice as I'm putting my pencil in. Thank you, Thomas. Okay, Luba, you're back. Thomas is back. Now, Kitty, you're back. Karen, you're back? Good. Looks like everybody's back. Okay, now, this is my Faber-Castell cinnamon pencil. I love it. That's one of my go-to pencils that I use. And it happens to be a number 189. Thomas, I'm not sure exactly what happened. I got kicked out of YouTube and it abruptly ended the broadcast. So I had to reboot and come back on again. Luckily, I wasn't too far into it. Now, notice how this face is starting to bring on more and more color, right? How do you learn where in your project to apply the shading, particularly from a beginner's view? Okay, Dana, that's really a matter of watching my different broadcasts, but basically, in a nutshell, what you do is you put down a base color, your lightest color, and that's what's on this forehead right now. And then you use a medium, these are all flesh tones. Then you use a medium color to start defining the areas on the face. For example, this area between the eye and the nose. And then you come in with a dark color, which is your color basically right next to the edge. So one of the key places oh, Mamie, was YouTube doing an update when I got kicked out and went back to my home screen, the YouTube icon looked like it was updating. Oh, okay. Now, check your area, Dana, between the eye and the nose. Thomas, what are you coloring tonight? And notice how when I use the darker shade, it brings up the front of the nose. Dana, what I would suggest that you do is that you find the beginning, go into the group, find the first broadcast of the little girl where I started the face. And that'll show you the sequence. Yes, this is still my 189. That's the cinnamon, Faber-Castell. Dana, it's a Facebook group. And if you search on the term breaking news, really the best way to do it is just to scroll through the group. And all my broadcasts have a green background on it with my mug, my picture. They're very easy to find. All right, now, Dana, notice the areas. We got the edge of the nose. I always color that area here. We've got a little bit of a C. I color underneath the eye. I color around the outside. And notice again how the bridge of the face and the nose gets lighter and lighter, as well as the cheeks getting lighter because of the coloring that I'm adding around the outside. Does that make sense? And guys, yes, if you would, I have to ask you again because we got bumped. Please click that like button. That's very important to me. And then, of course, Dana, the follow-up to this is blending, right? Thank you, Dana. I'm just erasing a little bit because I got my skin color on my black. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm shading. I'm shading in the features of the face. So this is where we put a little bit of color around the nose. And as soon as I do that, that pops the nose forward. We'll go underneath the nose in that little divot. And underneath the lips. And remember, anything that you shade goes into the background and causes the areas around them to come forward. So notice how I'm emphasizing this upside down U on the chin, and that's making this round area lighter, right? And that's going to jut the skin out, or jut the face out. And then again, I go underneath the eyes. And notice that the artist also added that line of shading with the drawing. Oh, by the way, guys, I posted a freebie in the group for you. It's a snail on top of some mushrooms. And then I'm going to put a little bit of shading underneath the eyebrow. Now, guys, if you ever have a question about what to shade on a face, what I want you to do is look in a mirror under normal light. Even better, take a picture of yourself, take a selfie, and you'll notice that there are lighter and darker areas. Yeah, Dana, I'll get those affiliate links to you tonight. All right, let me pull out. Look how cool that looks. Okay, guys, I want to show you something. I purchased a mannequin head. It's made out of styrofoam. She's gotten a little dusty. I want you to take a screenshot of this, and that'll help you with shading. Everybody got that? See, guys, I put out for you. I do everything for you. Take a couple screenshots. I'm going to tilt this up so that you can see this. And I want you to notice how it's shaded on the nose. Then we have the light area, and then we've got the nose shaded again. Also notice how the area around the outside is darker. See it? So take several screenshots, guys, because I'm tilting it a little bit so that you can see it. Let me turn it sideways. And then let me turn it the other way. So what do you think? Does this help you? And notice this area under the eyes that I was talking about right here, because it makes this area a little puffy, and that gives us our dimension. And then see the area inside the eye. Her nose got a little flat, but that's okay. Guys, click on the hearts on your text box if this is helping you. And then again, notice the shading underneath the lips. And then we have the shading on either side of the chin. All right. Mamie, did that help you? Hey, I bought that little head just specifically for this broadcast to help you guys. Did you guys get your screenshots? Okay, now let's go ahead and add a little bit of shading here. On either side of the jaw. Now, remember, this is where your blending gets really critical. And again, this is where I'm shading. And notice how I'm stopping this shading along the jawline just a little bit before that chin. And this is where I'm also adding the shading in between my eye and the nose on this other side. I want you guys to practice this. And then, of course, we're going to shade on the neck. Already done that. And we'll get that dimension on the neck. Okay. Much, much better on the face. And I'm going to use a paper towel to blend. Okay, now I'm going to come in with a darker brown. And now I'm going to put in my what? My shadow. And this is where the color, we're going to go right next to our hairline and the flowers. Now, notice how I'm also blending that in. This is where we're doing the shadowing on the piece. So in this case here, this is where the hair is creating shadow on the face. Everybody see that? I literally am creating a shadow underneath the overhangs on the face. All right, let's work our way down. Guys, don't forget to click that like arrow for me. All right, notice how I'm bringing it into the ear as well. Notice how I'm bringing this down to the chin. And finger blending. Now I'm going to pull out, and I want you to see the effect. I've got half the face here where I've added this outside color. And make sure that your transition from your outside color to your other colors is smooth. I'm going to come back with my slightly lighter color and use it to blend that seam line. Isn't that beautiful? Any questions? Oh, Luba, you're doing the picture of the little girl in the kitchen that I gave away? You are welcome. Okay, everybody see the difference between this side and this side of our little girl? Okay. Let's add our shadowing on the outside here. Luba, my pleasure. I'm glad you're enjoying that freebie. And make sure that you have seamless blending between your colors. And Dana, you are perfectly capable of doing this. Guys, when you're learning how to do this, the key is that you follow what I'm doing, mimic what I'm doing, and eventually it's going to become natural to you. Dana, I pick a light, a medium, and a dark flesh, and it depends on the image. For example, when I was doing my Hispanic couple, my dark, medium, and light were based on the Hispanic shades. I'm just using my Faber-Castell Cinnamon just to smooth out that line. Luba, feel free to comment on how you do faces as well, if you wish. Dana, does that answer your question? Oh, and as far as shading the same, yeah, you know, you're going to put your base color in, which is your light color here to start. That's the lightest color. Then your medium is going to start defining. That's where we're shaping and shading, for example, inside of the nose of the eye and underneath. And then the shadowing is on the very outside, like what I'm doing. Of course I have confidence in you, Dana. You're perfectly capable. Okay, now I came down a little bit further with my color towards the chin. So I need to erase that out a little bit. There we go. Dana, the snail, you can use vibrant colors. You can use pinks and purples. You can also make the mushrooms very colorful, and the snail, I would use on the underside, you can use your peaches. Guys, for those of you that are going to do the snail, what colors are you going to use on the snail? You can use flesh colors like this on the underside of the snail, Dana. Okay. Now we're going to blush her up a little bit. Dana, I would use the Gamasol as a last effort. You can use your blending stumps like I've been showing you. You can rub your blending stumps on your chalks and fill in a background and then detail with a pencil. Okay, notice how I'm starting to add pink. Luba uses solvent for blending. If you're comfortable with solvent, that's fine. Some people don't like to use the chemicals. Dana, try different things as to what works for you. Okay, finger blending here. Soften that pink up. Now, if I wanted to, I could go ahead and use my blending stump, rub it on my chalk, and then put it on the image. And rather than just say that, I'll go ahead and do that for you so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I've got my chalks here. I'm going to get a blending stump. Dana, no. It's okay to ask the repeat question. The snail is colored in the gray tones. It's a black and white picture. And what you're doing is you're using your colorless, I'm sorry. You're using your pencils on top of that gray to combine the color of the gray and your pencil in order to make your picture. So, for example, on the other underside of the snail, you can use your light peaches. It's okay to use colored pencil over your gray. And keep asking me questions until it makes sense to you. Okay. Blending stump. Chalk. I'm going to go ahead and rub my chalk on my pink. and start blending that in. Everybody see how I'm doing that? Now I've gone to a slightly darker pink. But I want you guys to see how I'm using my blending stump like a pencil. This is the pink that I've gone to. This was the one I started out with. Day trade, hi. Okay guys, where else do I add pink? Oh, isn't that pretty? Guys, where else do I add pink? I use odorless mineral spirits. Dana, no solvent. All I'm doing is using the tip of my blending stump like a colored pencil. Karen, good night. Somebody tell me where else I put the pink, guys. Oh, Luba, really? Thank you, Linda. We're going to put a little pink on her neck, because when a young lady blushes, her neck also pinks up. Now, if you get a little bit of your blush where you don't want it, which I did, just very lightly erase it off and just put your skin color back in. Check it out. So, Luba, you learned something new, didn't you? Yeah, we could put a little bit of blush on the tip of the nose. Any questions? Day trade, how are you doing today? Okay, now I'm going to take a black pencil. Let me put my chalks back. So day trade, are you going to be able to color with us? And I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. Okay, so we've got our little birthmark here. I'm going to take my black pencil and I'm going to color that back in. Now, birthmarks can have a little bit of brown around them. Oh, maybe tomorrow. Okay. Notice that I'm going to put a little bit of brown around the edge of this birthmark. And that's going to make it look natural, more natural. That way you don't have just a black dot. And then I'm going to blend with my finger. If you wanted to use the pencils instead of chalk, could you do so? Of course. You can use pencil, you can use chalk. Everybody see how I'm carrying out that brown a little bit around the edge? And that way we've got a more natural birthmark. Okay, now we need to do our eyelashes. Oh, Day Trade, you made a YouTube channel a couple of days ago. Cool. What are you covering on your channel? I noticed that you came in under a new name. Trading socks. Cool. Okay, black pencil. Very sharp. We need to highlight our eyelashes. Any questions about how we're doing the eyelashes? Oh, Dana, yeah, the symmetry of the birthmark was bothering you? Yeah, exactly. That's why we've got to smudge it a little bit. You are welcome. All right, Thomas, you'll be back in an hour. Okay, and then I'm going to go around the outside of this eye with my black. And then I'm going to use my darker brown that I used around the outside of the face, that last brown. Oh. Oh, excuse me. And then I'm going to darken on the other side. Again, guys, this is the last brown that I used. Thank you, Linda. Now, the most important piece when you have eyes on an image that you're coloring are your eyes. You've got to get them right. The eyes are the most expressive, and they will make or break a piece. I'm going to add a little shading underneath here. Check it out. All right, let me pull out. Doesn't that face look terrific? Got a little clump of pink right there I want to get rid of with my blending pencil. Any questions? Okay. Now, gummy eraser. And DT, day trade, just for future, please ask me before putting up a channel. I don't mind promoting people, just check with me first. Okay, so I'm going to take my gummy eraser and I'm going to what? Press around the outside of my piece, and that's going to pick up any eyeshadow that got on the coloring. You don't need to apologize, day trade. You didn't know. All right, what this does is this picks up any eyeshadow. Now notice I'm not scrubbing with it. I'm just going straight up and down. All right. Now, one little area that I missed last night and I need to catch this up real quick. All right, kitty. Is on these flowers at the bottom. I'm going to add a little bit of blue in between so that I have a more distinctive flower. So I'm adding it both on the base of the gel pen, on the base of the petal, and that's going to give us some dimension on this. Oh, Kitty, you got a heat pad. Dana, I always stretch Sir Gummy when I go to use it because it basically cleans it up. Stretching it cleans it. So yeah, Sir Gummy always gets stretched. It's not so much as a softening thing as it is cleaning. Oh man, this is pretty. Here, let me pull out and show you again. So what I do is I take Sir Gummy and I stretch. See the lighter areas in it? The stretching tends to bury the dirty parts of the eraser. See? So all that purple and blue that I picked up on this page basically disappears. Does that answer questions? All right, let's get these flowers on the other side. Good to see you, Kathy. Check it out. Oh, Kathy, glad to have you back. We miss you when you're gone. Okay. Well, day trade, it'll be fun when you start coloring with us. Oh, this is much better. Okay, a couple more things on this and then I can call this one done. Did I answer everybody's question about my gummy eraser? Sir Gummy. Again, see how it turns whiter when I stretch it. They're sticky. See? See how that sticks to my finger? Okay. Now, these eyes are bugging the heck out of me. There's an extra circle here. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my dark, medium, and light blue. Let me find my light blue. And I'm going to extend the color of the eye. So there's my dark on the top. Kathy, you've got Sir Gummies, but you haven't used them yet. Okay. So there's my dark blue. Here's my medium blue. And my light blue. Oh, how cute does that look? Much better. And then just touch up with your blues as necessary. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this on the other side. There's my darkest blue. Then our mediums. And then our light. Luba, if I use eyeshadow or chalk, that's where I use my gummy erasers. Much better. What do you think? Okay. Almost done, guys. We're getting there. Got to grab a couple cases. Yes, Kathy, this is from one of my books. This is from Birthmark Beauty's Jubilee, Kathy. Is it common for pencils to flake off and break? Sometimes. But that may be a problem that you are pressing too hard with your pencils. Okay, rhinestones. Let me glop a little glue on there. Yeah, Luba, I don't use my my gummy eraser a lot. But if I want to create a special effect, for example, with my chalks, I will use it. All right, now again, don't worry about the glue. If you get a little off to the side, because this stuff dries clear. Yeah, Luba, let me show you. I'll show you. Okay. Now, I'm going to add another crystal on here. So there's my glop of glue. And there's my crystal. Now, I'm going to add a couple of smaller pieces here to this. And I'm going to make a little necklace out of it. Dana likes the bling. Now, guys, you know that I don't add stuff just to add stuff, right? And notice how I'm leaving a little bit of space in between. Check it out. I'm thinking that looks pretty cool, don't you? So that's my green. And then I'm going to come over here on the collar and I'm going to add a couple of clear pieces. And then I'm going to do that on the other side. Luba, stay put. I'm going to show you how to use that gummy eraser for a really nice effect. Oh, how cute does that look? Check it out. Okay, Luba, are you still with me? So I'm going to stretch my eraser again just to soften it up a little bit. Now, I've done this before with my gummy. Luba, are you here? I'm going to take my gummy eraser and I'm going to erase out some light space areas. And what that's going to do is that's going to make it look like clouds. And all I'm doing is putting my finger onto the edge here. And rubbing out these areas. Everybody see how I've got these light patches now? Luba, that's one of the things that I use my gummy eraser for. And if you're going to do this effect, be sure that you do it along the entire page. All right, let's get this other side. Can everybody see how this has lightened the areas on the page? Okay. I'm down to the last thing that I want to do with this page. And then I can get to my Disney. Now, I have these little tiny bows. Bought them on Amazon at some time. And I'm going to add a couple on the page. And I want you to notice that the colors that I'm using of the bows basically match the color of the flower that I'm laying on top of it. Luba, you are most welcome. I hope that helped you. Okay. Now, I obviously decided to add this bow after the fact that I put my bling all the way up to the top. That's okay, that happens. So I'm going to put one there at the bottom, and I've got these few in the hair. What do you guys think of the bows? I'm deciding between the dark bow, the darker bow, and the lighter bow. Now, if you don't like the bows, just say not my cup of tea. So let's go ahead and start with this bow down here at the bottom. Now I want you to notice that I've put this bow a little bit on the angle. I'm not just putting the bow straight up and down. It looks cuter that way. Kitty, you like them? Sherry, you like them? Dana, that's it's called oh, it's called, let's see what it's called. Hold on. It's just an app that I have. It's called White Noise. I think I'm not going to put the two down here. I think that's too much. We'll just put them up at the top. Dana, you asked me about going with one color. Oh, I like that. What do you guys think? Do you want me to go with one color or multiple color? Start voting. I think I like the one color. I think it's classier that way. Kathy says multiple, Kitty says one, Julie says one. Now notice when I was going with the colors, I used a similar color that was on top of the flower. So I didn't vary from the color scheme too much. And notice I'm changing the direction of the bows. And I think that this looks ridiculously cute. Way too cute. Now, I'm going to, Dana, you're conflicted. Okay. I'm going to add a little buglet into the hair. And I'm going to hide it near the bow. Julie, I put them in notebooks in protective sleeves. All right. One last addition. I happen to have a butterfly that's got the same colors as my leaves. So I'm going to pop that little guy up there as well. And that'll be the last thing. Kathy, good night. I'm done with this page. I'm going to be starting up Disney in about 5 minutes. See you Sunday. Okay, I'm done. Calling this piece done. What do you think? And I want you to notice that the bows that I ended up going with do not conflict at all with our floral pieces. And in fact, when you look at this piece, you have to look at it for a second to realize that those bows are there. And that's the point. So I'm happy with it. No more additions. I think we're good to go. Okay. Next project. Finally. Disney. I really wanted to finish this piece, so I will have a new duet tomorrow. All right. I'm just going to back bend the binding on this. Now, again, I will remind you that this is watercolor or oil. Probably watercolor because it's very smooth. And you can only emulate what's going on here on here. Let me get a new paper towel because this one's full of chalk. So Dana, yeah, it's so pretty. I love all the embellishments. You've given me ideas. Yay, that's the whole point. As I have metal dies that I can use to apply to my coloring projects. Dana, explain to everybody what those metal dies are so they know what you're talking about. All right. So I'm going to start to work on the shirt here of our, who is this, Prince Charming, I guess. I love it when somebody tells me that I've given them ideas. That is music to my ears. Okay, Prince Charming. Got a little bit of eraser stuck there. Now, his shirt is what? In the shade, basically. The sun is behind his back. And guys, remember, when you're adding embellishments, you don't want to go crazy with it. I wouldn't dare add one more thing to that picture. Dana, will you explain what your metal dies are, please? Oh, my hand jerked. So guys, that's what those metal dies are, is basically they're meant to cut paper shapes. And what Dana does with them is she paints and colors and stamps, and then she cuts it out with her die. So that's what she was talking about. All right, now I'm going to grab my yellow because I want to go ahead and start marking my spots here. Where my sunshine is. So we're going to have a little bit of our sunshine here on the back of his sleeve. Yeah, you have the standalone dies to cut really cool images. A manual for electric machine is required to cut shapes. Yep. In the cardstock. Yeah. That's pretty cool, Dana. I'm glad I'm giving you some ideas for using them. Okay, check out my yellow. And that yellow is the what? Is from the sun on his shirt. And we'll pop in a little bit yellow right there. Now, obviously, this isn't blended, right? Somebody give me the definition of a proper blend. Now, I'm going to come in with my Faber-Castell 103, which is ivory. And I'm going to go over that yellow and also that gray where it is next to the yellow. Well, Dana, I'm glad I've delighted you. Just remember that less is more. Well, Dana, I can give you the link. Remind me at 10:15 p.m. to give Dana the link to the electric eraser.
Okay, I added give Dana.
And Kitty says when one color disappears into the next color. That's right. Just put the word seamlessly in between there. Seamlessly disappears. Now we've got yellow and gray here, so we need to blend. See how I'm blending that? And your Faber-Castell 103 makes an excellent blending tool. Oh, I'm having too much fun tonight, I'm telling you. Excuse me. Okay. Now let's go ahead and start up some skin tone here. And I'm going to start out with a peach. Let me move my camera a little bit. A proper blend is when one color seamlessly disappears into the next color. And that's what I've done with my yellow and the gray. And you can have colors that are not similar and still blend them correctly. So this is my base color on the skin. All right, let's go ahead and do this other arm. And then I'm going to come in with my medium color. And I'm going to start shading in our detail. Now, since this is a cartoon figure, I gotta move my camera again. Since this is a cartoon figure, it's one-dimensional basically. So we don't have as much leeway, but notice how I'm starting now to shade in this next color. Check it out. So notice that I'm coloring along the jawline. Notice that I'm leaving the chin open, right? Okay, Thomas. And then I'm going to come in with a darker brown. Now watch what I do here. Half of our face is shaded. Because it's turned away from the sun. And I'm going to take a blender pencil with a very sharp point, and I'm going to blend that. Now, be aware that sometimes when you mix pencil brands, they don't play well with each other. And if you have that happen, you just need to use different blending techniques. Now, I'm going to come in with some white. I'll blend with my finger. And then I'm going to lighten along the jawline. Oh, Luba, you finished your little girl. And no, you don't put Jubilee on that because it's an independent piece that I gave away. But thank you for asking. It's just a little girl in the kitchen. Now that I've blended this brown with my blender pencil, when I come back and add more of the brown, notice that it goes on smoothly. And if you need to blend it a little bit more with your ivory to smooth that out, that's fine. I'm going to show you the original so that you don't think I'm crazy when I'm doing this. See it? Dana, it could. You know, different pencils are made different ways. It could be the pigment, it could be the wax content. Okay, I'm adding a little bit of the darker brown up here. And then I'm going to come down on the neck. And we're going to shade his manly chest. And then I'm going to erase out the eyeball. Let me find my X-Acto knife again. Linda, you're looking at the face out of context. You'll see when I put in the hair color and everything else around it, it's gonna make sense. Okay. Hi, Amber. Amber Nicole, welcome. Okay, I'm going to use a water-based marker. And put in that blue. Amber, I'm glad you could make it. Okay. Now I'm going to use my darker pencil, as I mentioned, down on the chest. Now obviously I'm not done with the shirt. I've just put in my basic colors. And then I'm going to move down to the arms and we'll go ahead and get those guys shaded. So my first color that I'm putting in is my Faber-Castell cinnamon color, which you know is one of my favorites to use. And notice how I'm using this to shape the arm. And again, if anybody has any questions, please ask. That's why I'm live. Okay, let's go ahead and add this shaping here. Shading is shaping. Dana, do you see how we build up the color in order to create the look of the skin? And then I'm going to come in with my darker brown. And notice how I'm blending that in. You don't want to leave just a streak on the outside of the image. Now, my pencil has glopped up a little bit, so I'm going to take my X-Acto knife. Thank you, Amber. Thanks for the like. And then I'm going to take my Faber-Castell 103 and I'm going to use it to blend this all in. All right, look at the difference between the two arms. Now, I'm going to take my darker brown and I'm going to very lightly shade this in. And I'm just following the lead of the original. Oh, Amber, you're welcome. Amber, you've got to not get hung up on making your colors just right. Coloring is a learned skill. Okay, and again, I'm going to come in with my ivory. And soften up that brown a little bit. Okay. Guys, I'm running over a little bit. Now, remember, these skin colors that I'm putting in are out of context. We don't have any colors around them. And it's going to look really weird. And remember, when I mentor you guys and teach you guys, I teach the what? The what, the how, and the why. So I tell you what I'm doing, how I'm doing, and why I do it. Now, we have a major image difference in this picture. Let me show you. On the image that we are coloring, his hand is in the air by itself. But if you look at the original, hang with me guys, if you look at the original, let me go back over here, he is holding her hand. Or basically, her hand is on top of his fist. Good night, Linda. I'm about to end. See you tomorrow, Linda. Everybody see that difference? So tomorrow night, I'm going to have to draw that in, and then we'll color it. Okay, guys, calling it an evening. This is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. Love on each other, that's what we're known for. Amber, I'm glad you could pop in. Amber, before you go, I finished the other piece. And this is how she turned out. Isn't that cool? All right, guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. I'm glad you could make it. I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. This one's done. Birthmark Beauty's Jubilee with the mold that doesn't look like just a black dot. And our Disney picture. Day Trader, Day Trade, I hope you enjoyed it as well. Guys, please press that like button. Extremely important to me. That's the only thing I ask back from you. All right, guys, take care. Love ya. See you tomorrow night. Bye.